Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Scoop Coaches Show. Joining me is my trusty right-hand man, Ted Hammond.
And the Twins are on a one-game winning streak, baby.
And the head Waseca base. Oh, no, he's not here today, but he'll be coming later.
Okay.
Teddy,
Yeah.
my man, my golf source from NRHEG told me that he knew he didn't have to send anything on the NR invite because Ted would have it covered. So fire away on that big tournament that NRHEG was the host.
We had 3 matches last week, so I'm going to go quick.
Okay, you talk about it.
Yeah, we were the visitors on our home course, and you'd think that'd be a definite advantage. Last year we took first, both boys and girls. This year the girls won it again. They only had 4 girls teams, but our girls really shot well. And then the boys would go with the 344, which is unbelievable on your home course. You should be down to 320s. And so we lost to Blooming Prairie. They had a 330. And then we lost to Maple River, and we lost to USC. We didn't lose, but they outscored us. So we ended up with a 344, but the best thing about it was our 2 scorers, our 2 leading scorers were Griffin Seifert, had an 83, and he's only a 7th grader, and then Sam O'Brien comes in at 86. There are 2 low scorers. Now when you got your sophomores and juniors are supposed to be your mainstays of your team, and they don't come in and the youngsters win it, then we're in trouble. So then we ended up with Nick Rowling had 87, and Andrew Weber had an 88. So we had 4 guys in the 80s, which is good. But we need at least 1 guy in the 70s and then pack up in the low 80s if we're going to do anything in tournaments. So in your home course, gorgeous day, probably the best day we've had in 2 weeks, and we just didn't go out there and shoot like we're capable of shooting.
And Andrew shoots better than that when it's rainy and windy.
Yeah, he's
on strange courses.
Yeah, fair weather doesn't seem to suit him right now. Well, I'll tell you, on Friday he came back. Then the girls took first, and we had Sydney O'Brien had 90, Crystal Caribou 91, and Caitlin Altman had a 97. We need 1 more girl in the 90s, and maybe Sid get in the 80s of Crystal, and we'll be just fine coming into tournament play. So with the girls, they only had 4 teams, like I said. They shot 387, which for them is really good. Then Tuesday, we turned right around, went down to Blue Earth, had an away match. We had to get these matches in before the conference tournament coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow. Anyhow, the girls shot really well. Okay, Sydney had a 49, Crystal had a 45. On a strange course, and I don't know if you ever played St. James. Now it's called South Fork. Okay, they changed the name of it. They got the clubhouse completely renovated. Some guy's pumping some money in there. I just hope he can make it. But there's no sand in the traps. So I'm thinking St. James now. But in Blue Earth, we had to play 2 separate courses. One's on the north side of town, one's on the south side. So you got to drop off one team, and it's another 20-minute drive to the other one. Then you got to go back to the other course. So Amy Potter was nice enough to take over Barb Coons that day because Barb's husband was coming home from Rochester. So Amy did a really nice job. The girls team, they won. And they had a girl named Natalie Fellows from Blue Earth. She had shot a 1 under par earlier in the season. So Sydney was kind of taking that as a personal challenge against her. And she ended up beating her. So that was kind of nice to see. Then Andrew, on the boys' side, had a 42 Weber. Jackson Preeve, name you haven't heard much, she had a 44. Nick Rowling had a 45, and Sam O'Brien came in with 48. But we lost to Blue Earth, and they are the champs from the eastern side going into the tournament, South Central, or the Big 12 tournament. Big South? God, I can't get it right. I know. Anyhow, Blue Earth beat us 170 and 179 for the boys, and the girls won 201, 206. That was a good win for the girls. Blue Earth, like I said, had a pretty strong squad. And the JV team from Blue Earth, their boys team was undefeated, and they wanted to find a tournament somewhere so they could win the tournament and say they would finish the season undefeated. Our JV came out and beat them. That was fun to see. They weren't expecting that. Then we ended right away on Friday. We had to go down to St. James, even though it was a forfeit, because St. James only had 3 guys and 4 girls. We still had to go and play the match according to bylaws. You have to play. You can't just go by forfeit. And I'm glad we did go because it's a strange course, and the kids really lit it up. Weber finally came through. He had a 38, and we're looking for him to get in the 30s now with tournaments coming. And we had Griffin Seifert and Nick Rowling had 42s, and we had 5 guys below 47. So that bodes well, especially on a course like that. It was hilly. Trees guarded a couple fairways, so we got some good play getting in there. Then the girls came in with a 186. They had 4 girls in the 40s. So St. James, I think, I'm hoping that's the forebearer of things to come with the tournaments. So that wrapped up our week, a real hectic week. And then we got Monday, we go over to Fairmont tomorrow. The girls have to take off about 6 o'clock in the morning. They tee off at 8:30. And then the boys, we leave about 10, and then we take the course after the girls are done. We usually get on the course about 1:30. So it'll be a full day tomorrow. And this is for the Big 12, or the Big South, whatever they want to call it. and only the teams from each side that won their section. I mean their section, but their individual group. They're the only two that can go for the not all conference, but the conference championship. So the Blue Earth boys, when they beat us, they qualified on our side, and I believe it's the Jackson County Central boys on the other side. And the girls are going to be with St. Peter's on our side, and I think it was the Marshall girls on the other side. So they're the only two that, no matter if somebody beats them on Saturday, it doesn't make any difference.
The rest are just for individuals.
Yeah. So then the top 18 make all tournament, all conference. So either side, boys or girls. So if they can just finish. Last year we had Andrew Weber and Colin Werke. They finished one stroke away, and Sidney O'Brien made it last year. And I'm sure Crystal will make it too. So it's just, going to be a good day to get set up, because then right away on Friday the boys start with section play at New Prague in downtown course, and then the girls go the following Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. So we're going to get a couple practice rounds in this week over there, and then we'll see. But right now, if we can just carry over from St. James, we should have a real good time.
And good news for Andrew Weber tomorrow. It's a 90% chance of rain.
Yeah, the whole week we're talking.
So he'll be in front.
It should be.
Tennis team, Kyle Collins' crew, having a long year with a lot of youngsters playing, but they opened section play by upsetting Blue Earth 5-2. They're 2-14 for the year. I think they play St. Peter in the next round, who has thumped them twice and was the conference champ this year. Track teams, the only results I have for the week, Teddy, was the big Gopher Conference meet was held last week. In the girls, WEM won it. NRHEG was second out of 7 teams. I know for the Panthers, Haley Schuler won the high hurdles. Maddie Wagner won the long jump. And Sophia Fisher won the shot put. So the Panthers did have 3 champions. In the boys division, Maple River was the winner. NRHEG was second. And WEM was 7th, and the NRHEG 4x8 relay team, which has been strong all year, won the conference title in that event. So, excuse me, a lot of track teams will be getting ready for section plays now as well.
It's that time of the year.
Softball teams in the area, Teddy. The Waseca Blue Jays 5-11, and this is unusual. They had the whole week off.
Isn't that something?
They played last Tuesday. They don't play till Thursday of this week. I think their seeding is done now. Today or Monday, they'll find out who and where, but they will be on the road, no doubt, for the first game.
Best week of weather, probably all spring, and they have no game.
They have no game.
Unreal.
WEM, Crystal Lamont softball team, having a great year. They're 14-5 this season. They defeated Medford 13-3. They defeated Faribault BA 8-7. They lost to St. Clair 17-11 in the Slugfest. I believe they open tournament play on Thursday. NRHEG, Wendy Schultz back out of retirement, and all she's done is put together a 15-5 season for the Panther girls. They had a 3-win week. Defeated Blooming Prairie 6-5. Faribault BA 11-1. And Maple River 7-4, and I think Maple River had defeated them the first time, so little revenge game there. They'll get underway this week in section play as well, as will JWP. JWP is 7-11 overall. They lost to Medelia 11-3. They defeated Cleveland 8-7, defeated Blooming Prairie 7-4, and lost to, can't read my rating there, Nicollet 12-7. So they had a 2-2 week. 7-11 for the year, not bad.
I think they had one game with a walk-off. The little Crow girl hit one.
Yep. Must have been the Cleveland game.
Okay. Was that 8 innings?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And they will start tournament play this week as well. The baseball teams in the area. JWP, they're up to 10-6 now. Teddy, they defeated Alden 14-1. Nicollet 10-0. Randolph 3-1, and Randolph was ranked second in the state in Class A before the Bulldogs beat it. And NRHEG 4-2, a 4-win week for the Bulldogs. They close out their regular season Monday against Martin County West.
I saw they were adding some depth to their pitching. They had Jolstead pitching the other day, and he's been maybe going a couple times. But Tommy Gannon doing the job, and the Randolph Rockets, but they sputtered that day. It was kind of fun to watch.
NRHEG, they're 6-12 for Drew Pockert. They defeated Blooming Prairie 13-5, lost to Faribault BA 11-1, and lost to JWP 4-2. Monday they will play Tri-City United, and Tuesday they will be at Blue Earth to close out their regular season. WEM, they're up to 12-6 now for the year. They beat Medford 10-0, beat Maple River 6-0, and lost to USC 9-7 in 8 innings. They closed the regular season Monday at Faribault BA.
Jeez, where'd the time go? I tell you.
And the Waseca Blue Jays had a 4-game week. They lost to Fairmont 8-3. Went down there Monday. Fairmont was the conference champion, and we just fell behind 3-0 early and never did get back in that game. Tuesday we went to St. Peter, and they threw a freshman pitcher. Now this kid threw last year as an 8th grader, and last year as an 8th grader we said we thought he was among the top 5 that we had seen that year. He's not a big kid, but he's very poised for a freshman. He throws pretty hard for a youngster and's got a good breaking ball, never gets flustered. We only had 4 hits, I believe, and lost 2-0. Eric Moss pitched that game. He pitched a 4-hitter, but no run support. Finally, we broke a 6-game skid. Went down to Blue Earth on Thursday. Our bats exploded. The Jays had been shut out 4 times in the last 5 games, Teddy. We beat Blue Earth 9-4, had 13 hits. Every kid in the starting lineup had a hit. That was really kind of
You
fun.
believe in superstition?
Yes.
What do you do to break out the bats when they go to sleep?
Guys, be aggressive.
But no, I mean, you do anything in dugout? You do any seances or anything,
we
or
don't do
any?
any of that stuff.
None of that stuff.
We
Okay.
just let Justin Daynard chew bubble gum. Hard and heavy.
Okay.
Hank Hagan in his final game for us on the mound got the win in that one. Then we had the big reopening of Tink Larson Field Friday against
Where?
Tri-City United.
How'd I miss that?
I don't know.
You know about that, Andy?
Was there a fire?
All the
Seriously?
all the other spring team athletes and coaches were there, Ted.
Yeah, not the golf team. We were down in St. James.
Well, I heard Tink thank everyone for canceling practice so they could attend the game that day.
Well, we had to have our match in before the tournament.
Okay. Well, it was a 3-0 lead for TCU going into the bottom of the 6th. We scored 2 runs to cut it to 3-2. Got a run in the bottom of the 7th to tie it and had the bases loaded and 2 out and couldn't come up with the big hit.
But you'd think a third base coach could have got that last
Yeah,
run in.
yeah.
Who was the third base coach?
I don't care.
Remember? Okay, I'm serious.
Then we
Ridiculous.
go to the 8th inning, and the Blue Jays have 5 errors in the 8th inning.
Are you serious?
Tink Larson said he thinks it's something he's never seen in his 50 years of baseball. 4 errors on 4 consecutive batters by 4 different people.
That's hard to do.
That's real hard. TCU scores 7 runs in the 8th inning and defeats us 10-3.
What? Do you know what TCU's overall record? Because they're
Yes,
pretty
they're
good,
12
right?
and 8.
Okay. So it's a quality team.
They're a good team.
Okay.
Yep. So the Jays end up 8-12 in the regular seeding. Seeding will be done tomorrow, but we do know that we will play I've never heard of this in a section, but it's really unusual. We have 7 teams in the section.
Okay.
Now you would think the top team would get a bye and the rest would play.
Normally.
The top 3 get a bye into the Final Four, it's called. The remaining 4 teams play a double elimination to see who gets to join them in the Final Four. So we do know that we will play 2 games no matter what in New Ulm on Thursday at 5 and 7. We think we'll probably be the 6th seed, so we play the 5th seed, which will probably be Mankato East. We think Worthington will be 4 and Faribault will be 7, so they will play at the same time. Losers and winners play each other again at 7.
And so you shoot all your pitching before you get to the Final Four.
And the good news, or the bad news is, we have 2 pretty good pitchers in Eric Moss and Hank Hagan. Hank Hagan leaves for basic training on Monday morning, so he won't be here. So that means we throw Eric Moss in Game 1. In Game 2, we will have to pitch someone, and the most that anyone else has pitched has been 6 innings.
Who's that?
Dakota Williamson.
Okay. Well, I remember when we won a state championship back there in 1990, how many pitchers we have.
But we didn't have to play 2 games in one day either.
Yeah, we did. No, I guess not. State tournament. Yeah, I thought we did in state tournament. Yeah, they cleared out the stadium. We had to go back and play again. I remember that because I had to pay twice and I was pissed. I mean, I was mad, okay? No, they made everybody vacate the stadium, Dick Putz Field there in St. Cloud. We had to all go out and then go back in line and pay to get back in again for a championship game. That really torqued me off.
But you went to the bathroom or something?
Well, yeah, that's a good idea. Or I could say I was on the grounds crew. But that was back in the 90s. That was last century.
So we will be playing Thursday in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
We don't know against who yet, but we will be playing 2 games Thursday.
Okay.
Moving on to the big scene, the MSU Maverick baseball team, Teddy.
Jeez.
Knocked off the top seed St. Cloud in 11 innings.
I'm just getting warmed up, baby. Give me 171 pitches.
Knocked off Arkansas Monticello 7-6, but last night got defeated.
What? Central Michigan?
Central
Missouri. Okay.
Beat
See
the
'em.
Mavs 3-0, so the Mavs would have to come back and win 3 games to advance to the World Series.
We're still taking out St. Cloud. That's a big arch
And St.
rival.
Cloud's out of it. They lost their next game, too. The
Good.
top seed is done.
All right. But did you see that kid? Was his name Dalton Roach?
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw any pitcher go over like 110 pitches in a game? I mean, pro with anybody. Really, they all have that pitch count. They think that's so
He
stupid.
said he was good for more.
Yeah, he had the adrenaline going. That was great. Okay.
Minnesota Timberwolves, Teddy.
Yeah.
All we know is the number 5 in the draft, the coming up in June 23rd, they will have. Will they keep it or trade it?
I'd trade it.
Would you?
The young talent they got right now, I'd trade it.
Okay. Well, we'll see what they do.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but I like that Thibodeau. Whatever he says, probably going to go. He wants to keep it. They'll keep it.
And, of course, your Minnesota Twins, Teddy, you're probably in heaven this morning because they won game number 11 already.
Yep.
11-31 with a 5-run rally in the 8th against Toronto yesterday.
My Menominee math is correct, like Bert Blyleven always says. I think they're 4th of the way through the season, right? And yesterday was the first day Joe Mauer got off. I think back on May 4th, he was batting about 325, and now he's batting about 265. And why'd they wait so long to give him a day off? It didn't make sense. Good grief. And you don't even know who in the outfield anymore. Who's this guy Grossman?
I don't know about 5 guys on
How
their
about
team. About 3 of their pitchers.
Mastriani, I remember that name.
Yeah, he
okay.
was up a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but then he had that ankle injury, and he sat out a whole year, I think,
Yeah,
didn't he?
but I mean, that's at least a
Yeah.
familiar name.
And then we're only 4th way through the season, and we got what? No pitchers with 2 wins yet?
Not a one.
You got Chris Sales sitting there with 8 already? Yeah,
And
it's,
we got Mr. Sano, second in the league in strikeouts.
I'm thinking, here's what we got to do. Marshall Cawley, for those of you who don't know Marshall, used to be a sports writer here, and we had lunch the other day, and we decided this is what they got to do. Got to get rid of Arcia. Got to just get rid of him. He's done. All right. You got to put who you can put in right field. Grossman looked pretty good. Okay.
Just not Sano.
Okay. We got Kepler. Anyhow, Sano moved to third base. Get rid of Plouffe. Trade Plouffe for whatever you can get for him. Get rid of him. Okay. And then we got to get rid of who else? Mauer. Got to get rid of Mauer. Okay. No. We can't get rid of him.
That's the thing that's killing him.
Yeah.
is his
So
contract.
put Park, hold on Park at first base. Have Mauer be the DH because Park needs to play. Okay. I like the guy at first base. He's not bad. And then they'll solve your problems. And starting pitching, we just had bad luck so far with all of them went on the DL. So now we get Perkins back, get Gibson back. We got Dean threw a nice game yesterday. You got Duffy throwing pretty well right now. Hey, we got 3/4 of the season left, and Santana and Nolasco.
Nolasco there.
Okay,
I think he'll be starting the All-Star game this year.
No, I'm thinking maybe we should get rid of him. I kind of changed my tune on him. Okay.
About time.
Okay, that's what Marshall and I decided. Okay, but you got.
Pretty smart.
It's not how you start; it's how you finish. And they've obviously been abysmal. If they finish the season like they started, they won't have any fans in the seats.
Well, all I know is in today's Sunday paper, the general manager of the Twins said this team is in dire straits.
Dire Straits. Isn't that a singing group? Dire Straits? Yeah.
Money for nothing.
Yeah. Well, all I know is that they're pumping money into the field down there for us. That's okay.
Helping out.
Bring down Dave St. Peter anytime you want. If you give us money for our field, we'll take it.
Terry Ryan can drag the infield.
Well, a couple of individual notes, Teddy.
Yes.
I see our good friend Jeff Annis has announced his retirement of Gus Davis softball after 11 seasons.
Did you see his record?
Yes.
Holy crap.
He's a good
He's
coach.
darn good. And he said, never say never. He might
Right.
resurface someplace again to coach. But, yeah, he had a great season. Well, a great run there. And, well, in high school, he had a great run with Maple River. Good guy.
Nice man.
Yep.
And on a sadder note, we've heard that the former Blue Jay basketball coach, Manny Beckman, is not doing well. We got our fingers crossed and our prayers go out to you, Manny. Keep on fighting, as I know you will, because there was no bigger fighter in the world than that guy.
You know, a lot of people don't realize, it's kind of like Franz Wolter. Everybody remembers Franz as the basketball coach, but his legend is with volleyball.
Yeah.
Well, Manny was a heck of a track coach. No, nobody ever brings that up, but the number of teams he took to state or what in the individuals he had state champions, nobody says anything.
And
But
Manny was a heck of a B squad football coach.
was he really?
I got to tell you a little story.
Oh God, Andy, you got time? Okay.
I probably got more Manny Beckman stories than anybody. This is one of my favorite. He was coaching B squad football when my brother played,
Okay.
and they had a little scat back of kind of Mexican descent, Kenny Samudio.
Holy cow.
You remember him?
No.
Okay.
Samudio. I wouldn't have been here for that.
Yeah, you might not have been here. Kenny got ejected in the first half of a B squad game. At halftime, Manny switched jerseys, put a different one on Kenny, and snuck him back in the game in the second half. And I think he got away with it.
Manny would do that?
Oh. Also,
That's good.
One varsity basketball game. Coogie here was playing at 5'6", and Rolf Iverson played at 6'10", and Rolf got fouled, and there was a timeout, and Manny jabbed me in the ribs and said, "Shoot when we go back out."
And nobody noticed.
And referees couldn't tell the difference between 6'10" and 5'6". I got 2 points there, and I didn't get many points for Manny. So
Oh God, if I would have been the other coach, I'd have been going livid.
Yeah, I know.
Ballistic, baby.
They handed me the ball, and I kept waiting. When's the other guy going to start screaming? No.
You didn't shoot underhanded, did you?
No.
Okay.
No,
Kind of like Hoosiers, where that little alley guy goes the line. Okay.
But of course, best of luck to Manny, and
Yep.
there's
It
a
didn't
lot
sound
of
didn't
memories
sound
out
good.
there.
Didn't sound good at all.
We should talk, Teddy, a little bit about the Preakness.
Yeah.
Nyquist saw the chance for a Triple Crown go up in the mud.
Jeez, I didn't get a chance to watch it, and I turned on last night to watch the replay. How in the world are they even running that slop? Holy cow!
They said, I heard one of the analysis said jockeys in those type of conditions have about 10 pairs of goggles
And
on
just
their
keep
helmet,
whipping
and
them
like
off?
every 10 seconds they keep pulling a new pair down.
Okay.
Because the mud is so
Oh, it
bad
was-
you can't even see.
Well, it does set up a nice rematch in the
Yeah.
Belmont Stakes because they each won and one took second. But and they said before the race, they had 2 horses go down.
Yes.
One died walking off the track or something. They said
He had a heart attack.
Yeah, and the other one broke his leg. Have you ever watched that?
Yeah.
I remember it was one of those top 3 races, Preakness or something, where a horse named Ruffian went down, and they showed the forelock just flopping.
Yeah.
Oh God! And then they had to euthanize him.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Yeah, I know it.
But you look at all that weight and those little skinny legs.
Yep.
This is God. It's fun to watch. You ever been to Kentucky Derby or not the Derby, but the Churchill Downs there? I've been there.
Have you?
I bet on a couple horses. Lost, of course. Okay, I'm not good at betting.
My final star today, Teddy.
Okay.
Just to show, Teddy and I, we're kind of old school guys.
Well, you are.
Well, you're old.
Yeah.
Just to show you how athletes and athletics has come.
Right.
On my way here today, I heard that Alabama and Auburn, 2 football powers,
Sure.
have offered an 8th grader scholarship already.
I think in Sports Illustrated they say the apocalypse is upon us. Okay.
Man.
8th grade.
8th grader, he's 6 foot 190, not a giant,
Right.
pretty big for an 8th grader.
That
And
is.
the guy that was talking said, I've seen film on him and he's a monster.
What's he play?
Linebacker.
Jeez.
But an 8th grader, and you're going to go say, we want to give you a ride, full ride?
Isn't that something?
Oh my goodness. Couldn't believe it.
Well, you look at all this stuff today, it's just saturated. I see these kids, they're saying, I got AAU ball till the middle of July. And they've been playing it now since probably the start of April. They got to drive up in the city someplace to play, and then they go down they went to Nebraska last week, one of the teams up there. And they got their finals are in Las Vegas. And I'm thinking, yeah, and all of a sudden you say, well, we're going to go to Blue Earth tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, are we staying overnight? I mean, it's just, it's phenomenal. And these parents are sold a bill of goods that your kid can get a scholarship and everything. And well, I just like to see where you go back to Clear Lake Park, and in the old days, you had to sit there and wait to get a game. Okay, and winners stayed, and losers, you just sit on the sidelines until you get a chance to get in. Well, you don't see that anymore.
And the playground, wiffle ball games, never.
Yeah, no. God, we used to play Indian and work up all the time with baseball. And we had wiffle ball teams hitting it off the porch roof as a home run or whatever. It's kind of sad, is what it is. But I guess we can relive those days anytime we want.
You bet. You got anything else?
Well, I thought I was going to talk about politics today.
Go ahead.
Okay, no.
It's your chance.
Well, they just said that right now it's a dead heat with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Can you imagine the rest of the world saying those are the two that we got to vote for the presidency? I'm serious. Isn't that sad? I'd like to see some third party come out of nowhere. And then I'm reading today, and we need a funding bill so bad for the transportation for Highway 14. I'm driving yesterday going over to Rochester, and they told me when I moved here in 1978, there'll be a 4-lane highway from Rochester to New Ulm by 1990. Okay, now is this 2016?
Yeah, we're a little late.
Are we even close to being a 4-lane?
There's parts.
Yeah, it's sad. And now you read in the morning, it doesn't look like they're going to get a bonding bill through because they got till Monday. And I'm thinking these legislatures, I mean, oh, God almighty. Just
Throw 'em out.
throw them out, yeah. But so we can't get a bonding bill passed, so now we're going to have a bunch more people die on Highway 14 because it's 2-lane, about 1/3 of the way, or whatever the hell it is. That just pisses me off. I got that off my chest, okay? But for those of you that have never seen this before, this will be the last time you get a chance to see this. Now, my twins cap, this is my bike riding hat. I just put that baby on backwards, and it gives me streamline when I go around the lake. Okay, and I usually get done about maybe a couple minutes faster, okay? But this one, for those of you who've never seen it before.
You were always all about speed when you were on the mower for Lynx Luscious Lawn Care.
Yep, and I still have not lost that speed. Okay, well, anyhow, for those of you who haven't seen this is my Branson bonnet.
My
Got
favorite
this-
hat.
Yep, I got this baby in Branson.
I love this hat.
And I said I'd never go to Branson until I was old. Well, I guess I'm old. But it's a kind of a double hat, dual. Okay. So today I'm going to be going outside. I got to do some gardening today. Okay. So I'm looking at this, but I won't wear it this way. Okay. All right.
It's got two looks, people.
It does, people. And I had to buy this at an intermission at Branson in one of the shows because they wouldn't let you get out of there unless you bought some. So, okay, I like it this way. But then if you look at it, I got the squirrels in the neighborhood love it like this, okay? This is the acorn look, okay? And where else can you get something as functional as this?
Hopefully no place else can you get something like that.
But
Put a pipe on top that looks like a plunger.
Yeah,
okay, well,
on your head.
no,
your head.
I'm full of crap, okay? So, yeah, well, it doesn't look like an acorn?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of make it look like a Manchurian.
I like the plunger description a little better,
Okay,
but
yeah, well, okay, Andy, thank you very much. But for those of you that aren't listening out there, what's ever left of our crowd, Coogie and I decided we're going to pull the plug today, okay? This will be our last show we're going to do.
for
And-
good, we're celebrating our 6th year.
Yeah, and I really want to be back next week for Memorial Day because I was going to sing America the Beautiful, but we don't need that today at all. So with this hat on, okay, well, how's that do with the
Yeah,
okay.
that's a better look.
Maybe,
That'll change their luck.
and it might be more streamlined going around the lake, too. So I thought we'd just end it with a song, okay?
We want to thank.
Well, yeah, we
we
should
want to
probably...
thank all 9 people that have religiously tuned in every week. We want to thank head coach. Oh yeah, he's up north this weekend, but
Casper?
we'll get to him next. Oh no, we won't
Casper. And want to thank Andy. For those who don't realize that the guy behind the scenes with this show would never take place
get
without
Andy
Andy.
and Hudson.
And Hudson.
Maceo.
And Maceo.
And Maceo
Rest in
started
peace,
this,
Maceo, yep.
Gene with the banana bread.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And we used to start in the basement of where Verizon is right now. What was it then? Wahoo's Liquor Store or something? Remember? It's called e-commerce, for those of you that remember e-commerce. And we started in the downstairs there and worked our way up to Andy's basement. That was kind of cool. we got all this paraphernalia.
I need this treadmill over here.
Yeah, and then if you need any of these shirts up here, they're for sale.
No,
Okay.
they aren't.
No, they aren't. Never mind.
Cookies.
They're
And
cookies.
camera and microphones and
We're wholesale today. We had a big garage sale all over town this weekend. That really torqued me off too. For those of you out there driving around about 2 miles an hour, looking and gawking at all the garage sales, geez, that torqued me off. I was late for
road
my.
rage,
I was late. Yeah, I was late to get my hair cut at Ray's because they got these people out there trying to. What do you see, Ma? You see anything in that one there? No, I don't see anything. Okay, let's go to the next one. Well, they're all
we
like,
should start a political show next week.
yeah, okay.
Teddy and Andy.
Yeah.
Teddy and Andy's politic hour.
For tirades, we go with tirades.
Tony
Teddy,
tirade.
Tony said Andy's harangue. So yeah, we get all kinds of stuff. But in the meantime, turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Dandy Don.
All that
Okay?
I know.
Yep.
But
that's
we've
it.
enjoyed it. We've had a good
We had
time,
it.
and
In
it's
6
time
years-
for some youngsters to take
Yeah,
over.
6 years flew by just like that. We're not going to be around for a 7-year itch, so okay.
That'll do it for our
Andy got
final
anything?
show.
Andy got anything?
This is it.
This is
is
it.
it.
Okay.
Adios.
That'll do it
Overlong.
for our
El
final
Peter's
show.
name.
Sayonara.
night.
Thanks to Anthony
Sayonara.
Hudson for
Good night.
producing. Thanks to my
Sleep
right-hand man,
tight.
Ted Hammond. And
Until
thanks
we
to all of you who watched.
meet
This is it.
again.
All in time.
Adios.
All of the da 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 da